In today's video, we are going over every Jedi Interceptors. These were piloted by Force sensitives since they were too difficult for most pilots to handle. These Jedi Interceptors may have been frail, but were extremely quick and maneuverable. Put in those hyperdrive coordinates and blast off. 2. Both the Jedi Actis class and Ether Sprite class was manufactured by Kuat Systems Engineering, the same people who also manufactured the A-Wing and the V-Wing Interceptor. Anakin Skywalker's Delta 7B Aether Sprite class Light Interceptor was the CIS's nightmare for the majority of the Clone Wars. Anakin's Interceptor participated in countless battles armed with 4 laser cannons. Although Anakin's Interceptor was destroyed twice in 21 BBY on Malastare and Van Kor, Anakin would still utilize the Delta 7B Aether Sprite until the Battle of Cato Neimoidia. Later on into the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker would utilize his new Eta II Actis class Light Interceptor in half a dozen missions and battles, and of course, in Anakin fashion, he got his new Eta II destroyed twice in 19 BBY on Cato Neimoidia and aboard the Invisible Hand, saving Chief Palpatine from the Separatists. Anakin's Interceptors always sported a yellow livery, very reminiscent to the pod racer he used to win as a boy on the Boonta Eve Classic on his homeworld of Tatooine. Much like other Jedi Eta IIs, Anakin's was armed with 2 laser cannons, 2 secondary ion cannons, and an astromech droid, in which case is R2-D2 of course. Anakin was also one of the first Jedis to pilot the new Eta II Actis class before it was widely used. A little later, after the Clone Wars ended, Anakin Skywalker turned Darth Vader was given an olive green Actis class after slaughtering the Jedi Temple with a 501st Legion. Darth Vader would fly his new Actis class to Mustafar to end the CIS once and for all, and to confront Kenobi. Over 20 years later, in 3 ABY, Darth Vader would use his old olive green Actis class to fight his way to Exegol using a Sith Wayfinder, encountering enemy TIE fighters and Suma Verminoth in the Red Honeycomb Zone. The Legends Azure Angel was a unique and heavily modified Delta 7 Aether Sprite class Light Interceptor piloted and modified by the Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker. Very early into the Clone Wars, this was hands down the best and most powerful Jedi Interceptor of its time. Armed with 4 Taman back laser cannons and 1 proton torpedo launcher with the capability to hold 16 torpedoes at a time, this heavily modified peacetime Jedi Interceptor also possessed 2 Trans-Galmeg hyperdrive thrusters, a 10-jump memory R4 series astromech droid, 1 week of consumables, shields, and co-piloted by R4-P22. During a chase with Asajj Ventress over Yavin 4, Ventress would destroy the landed Azure Angel. After the original Azure Angel's destruction, Anakin Skywalker would later utilize and modify another Delta 7 Aether Sprite named the Azure Angel 2. Anakin kept the name Azure Angel in honor and love to his secret wife Padme Amidala. The Azure Angel participated in the Battle of Perestalin in the Battle of Rendili in 22 BBY, just after the Battle of Geonosis. I'm talking the first Battle of Geonosis. The Azure Angel 2 was armed with 4 laser cannons, 1 proton torpedo launcher, and was equipped with an astromech co-pilot and a limited range hyperdrive system. Not as good as the first Azure Angel, but this one gets around. Legends Darth Vader would utilize many black ETA-2 Actis class interceptors through the early years of the Galactic Empire, armed with 2 laser cannons and 2 secondary ion cannons, and astromech R4K5 as the co-pilot. Obi-Wan Kenobi's Delta 7 Ether Sprite class light interceptor was utilized before and during the kickoff of the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi and his astromech R4P-17 would crew the spear-shaped interceptor with incredible maneuverability and help from the Force, of course. That rhymed. Obi-Wan's Delta 7 was armed with 2 laser cannons and was equipped with shielding, but required a hyperspace docking ring to jump into hyperspace. Obi-Wan Kenobi's Eta II Actis-class interceptor was utilized during a few battles like the destruction of a Separatist depot, the destruction of the Vancor listening station, and lastly, the Battle of Coruscant where bus droids would behead R4P-17 and badly damage his Eta II. Adding to it, Obi-Wan would crash land aboard the Invisible Hand, where the Separatist warship would soon crash land onto Coruscant onto a runway I assume would be like going down a slip and slide made out of sandpaper. Although destroyed in 19 BBY, his Eta II was armed with 2 laser cannons and ion cannons and was equipped with R4P-17, who acted as Obi-Wan's navigator and maintenance repairer. Obi-Wan's Eta II had no shields and required a hyperspace ring to jump. Obi-Wan Kenobi's blue Eta II Actis-class interceptor was acquired by the Jedi Master to hunt down General Grievous after Obi-Wan's original Eta II was destroyed along with his astromech R4P-17, replaced by a bronze astromech R4G9 who was previously used and owned by Alice Secura. Obi-Wan would use this interceptor that was just like his old one but with a blue paint job to track down General Grievous on the planet Utapau. Ahsoka Tano's Delta 7B Jedi Starfighter Interceptor participated in the Battle of Ryloth in 21 BBY and the Battle of Umbara in 20 BBY. Ahsoka's Ether Sprite was armed with 2 laser cannons and an astromech unit named R7A7. Ahsoka Tano would later retire her Ether Sprite by the time of the Battle of Canto Nemodia in 19 BBY. During the Battle of Canto Nemodia, Ahsoka Tano would utilize her new Eta II Actis-class light interceptor along with her master Anakin Skywalker. Ahsoka's Actis class was armed with 2 laser cannons and 2 secondary ion cannons. R7A7 continued to serve as her astromech co-pilot and mechanic. This Jedi interceptor was only shown in one episode of the Clone Wars titled Sabotage, the 17th episode of the 5th season. Jedi Master Yoda piloted a compact and modified Eta II Actis-class light interceptor shown a handful of times. Yoda and R2-D2 would go on a discovery mission aboard this modified interceptor, armed with 2 laser cannons and a small child-sized spherical cockpit to meet Yoda's very special needs. Jedi Master Yoda piloted another Actis class, but as a standard version with a green livery. Only showing up in Battlefront 2, this interceptor was armed with 2 laser cannons and 2 secondary ion cannons. Jedi Master Yoda utilized a silver Delta 7 Ether Sprite before the events of the Phantom Menace. This silver Delta 7 sported 2 laser cannons and shields. Jedi Master Plo Koon was gifted a Delta 7B known as the Blade of Doran from Jedi Anakin Skywalker. The Blade of Doran participated in many battles like the Battle of Khalida, Nebula, First Battle of Felucia, and the Battle of Cadona. This blue Delta 7B was armed with 4 laser cannons and co-piloted by R7D4. Plo Koon would obtain another Delta 7 during the tail end of the Clone Wars, sporting the same blue and white paint job as his previous interceptor, the Blade of Doran. This Delta 7 had an astromech name R4F5 integrated into the interceptor itself. In 19 BBY, during the Battle of Cato Nemodia, Plo Koon and his interceptor is obliterated by his fellow starfighters during Order 66. Mace Windu piloted a Delta 7B Ether Sprite alongside his astromech co-pilot R8B7. Not much is known, but this fighter was armed with laser cannons and was a Lego set. In Star Wars Legends, Mace Windu piloted a pink Actis-class interceptor during the Battle of Coruscant in 19 BBY, where it was destroyed by a swarm of vulture droids, but not before Jedi Mace Windu could eject safely. Kit Fisto piloted a green, white, and red Delta 7B starfighter during the Clone Wars, participating in the missions to Vasek 3 and the Battle of Lola Sayu, co-piloted by Astromech R6H5. Later on into the Clone Wars, Kit Fisto flew a light green and red Actis-class interceptor armed with 2 laser cannons, 2 secondary ion cannons, and an Astromech co-pilot. Jedi Padawan Barriss Offee piloted a blue and white Delta 7B Ether Sprite class interceptor during the Battle of Umbara in 20 BBY. This Jedi interceptor was equipped with 2 laser cannons and an Astromech co-pilot and mechanic. Saesee Tinn's Delta 7B Ether Sprite class light interceptor had a green and white paint job. Saesee's interceptor would help in the Battle of Lola Sayu in 21 BBY. This Jedi interceptor was equipped with 2 laser cannons shielding and an Astromech co-pilot named R3D5. In Star Wars Legends, Jedi Saesee Tinn would fly a gray and green ETA-2 Actis-class interceptor during the Battle of Coruscant in 19 BBY. This Actis class featured 2 laser cannons, 2 secondary laser cannons, and an Astromech droid known as R4C9. Jedi Master Adi Gilia would pilot a red and white pattern Delta 7B Ether Sprite class light interceptor during the Battle of Lola Sayu. Adi Gilia's interceptor was armed with 2 laser cannons and equipped with shields and an Astromech unit. Before the invasion of Naboo, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn piloted a blue Ether Sprite class interceptor equipped with an Astromech droid and shielding. This Jedi interceptor was armed with 2 dual laser cannons, but required a Silur 31 hyperdrive space docking ring to jump to hyperspace. Jedi General Aayla Secura would utilize a blue Eta 2 Actis class light interceptor during the Battle of Felucia in 19 BBY. This Actis class was armed with 2 laser cannons, 2 secondary ion cannons, and co-piloted by an Astromech droid. Jedi Master Luminara Unduli would pilot a green and white Jedi Ether Sprite Delta 7B interceptor on the Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk, armed with 2 laser cannons, shields, and an Astromech droid co-pilot. Jedi Master Shaak Ti would utilize her dark reddish burgundy and silver Eta 2 Actis class light interceptor over the vast oceans of Kamino. This interceptor was armed with 2 laser cannons and 2 secondary ion cannons. This interceptor was also possessing a co-pilot Astromech droid. Jedi Master Jocasta Nu flew and piloted a gold-plated Delta 7B Ether Sprite class light interceptor after the Jedi Purge in the depths of Coruscant underworld. This Jedi interceptor was armed with 4 laser cannons and co-piloted by Astromech droid B2. In 19 BBY on Coruscant, B2 would self-destruct himself and Jocasta Nu's interceptor to ensure her safety in hiding since Darth Vader was searching for her. A few honorable mentions: the crashed Axis class on the hull of the Venator on the junk planet of Baraka, sporting a dark blue paint job and a fried Astromech corpse. This was shown in one of the beginning cutscenes in Jedi Fallen Order. A plausible one is Taron Malicos' crashed starship on the planet of Dathomir, but the remains are so mangled, I mean, who knows. Thank you guys so much for all the support that my little channel's been getting so far. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I will not be posting for the next week because I will be on vacation. I really hope that y'all take care, and please, 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 have a great rest of your day.